So to start this journey, we don't even get to build the PC yet. We've still got to do some modifications to the chassis. So the first thing that we're going to do is we got to get this bottom pedestal off, and then we've got to add some rails for the extra drive bays. And look at that, look at all the dust just came off me. But this is all that holds each one of those sections together, one in each corner. So that's what we're going to be doing, is pulling these out first. And now with a little bit of luck, the entire chassis should just go. Hey, okay. Now we need to add some rails. So it appears that down here, these feet hold on a corner of this thing to the rest of the chassis. The entire thing will come free in two pieces. Alright, with the case fully modified, it's time to start dropping in hardware. Drop her in. So now we're at least ready to mount our board. We just have to get these cables tucked out of the way.
Later.
And click her on. That took a long while. Alright, next thing we're going to do is chuck some power supplies in it. So, we're going to have the 1000 watt on this side. Adapter that allows us to put a fan in a power supply slot. I've ran the cable extensions over here, and I'm kind of just tucking this around the back for the 2 8-pins, and the 24 pin I've ran nicely around to the other side. The server side is also getting some love too, even if it's going to be the ugly duckling. We have ran the other 24 pin extension here, and it's going to end up at the bottom there where it's connected to this guy. So
begins my adventure of random adapters. Here is a USB-C to 3.0 adapter. That's going to be one I'm using to get all the front panel USBs to work. Here's a tip for anybody that does something similar to this. You can cut off the heat shrink that they put at the end here and slide up this sleeving, and you can split apart your SATAs further if you're working with like really far away hard drives from each other. So I wanted to show you guys what the mining riser was for. So you see this little cable? This little cable, you don't use that. Get rid of that. You actually use a normal 6-pin going into the back here. But the mining riser will go right here. And it's going to give me the ability to put my GPU right there, because if you look, it's kind of blocked. There is no space for a large GPU. Probably going to put a 1060 in this thing, or a 670. So I was having trouble figuring out where I was going to put my GPU in here, because I couldn't get it to fit up there. But I have got the GPU miner on the very bottom slots that the motherboard doesn't hit, and it's going to sit on this side too. And so sadly at the moment I'm using bread ties to hold it because it sags. It's not being supported by the board or anything, but I will fix this in the future. Alright, so I've fully wire tucked the GPU and gotten everything ready there. I think the next objective is going to be hard drives. So we have probably like $30 in extensions right here at least. Maybe closer to 20. But we got some splitters and some SATA extensions. And so I'm going to see how many hard drives I can cram in here. So currently the basements are doing what they're really good at and being a rat's nest. But I've managed to run all of the cables through. So obviously we have 1, 2, and 3 for the server side. 4, 5 for the server side. And then we have 2 more that go to the server side that are going to be CD disk drives. And the 2 harnesses for my other side, the gaming side. We're going to store some of those hard drives in here, hopefully. There's another interesting addition that we're going to do here. We have 2 fan controllers sitting on the front. When we finally do the fans, these will be pretty dang useful. We've also got some fan extensions in the box over there. So the main plan is going to be to run a cable from the power supply over here, power these fan controllers, and try and hit as many fans around them as possible. Figure I'd show you guys what's coming next on the computer. So as you can see, we have this large opening here, and the idea is to put 2 of these car stereos in there. So we found up an in-house adapter for that. This is going to go in here, and it converts 5 5¼ inch bays to 2 single DINs. And the way that it's mounted is, you can see through there, the screws will go in there, in that panel, and then it mounts to these thin strips. Now they seem pretty thin and flimsy, but once you get all the screws through there, this thing, you can literally hold the entire panel by this little plastic adapter. The adapter is in, and we've got the top 4 slots for the controllers. So now we can throw our single DINs in here once that's all ready. I wanted to show you here that I've got all the hard drives mounted in the drive bays, or the CD drives. And then I've got the secondary graphics card there, and I've got a floppy disk at the bottom here, and some other cool stuff. But we are almost ready for the first try at firing it up. I just got to throw in the main GPU. Alright, we got the PC hooked up, and it's about time to give it the first test boot. First we'll try the gaming side. So that's the one I'm curious about getting running first. And none of the fans worked.
2 hours.
Alright guys, the entire thing is going. We got the second GPU down there, and it's outputting to the main monitor. We're using a capture card right now to see what the server's seeing, and we are getting all good so far. From what it looks like, all the fans are running. The liquid cooler's lights are not working, but I think it's pushing air. I can actually, yep, it's pushing air. Okay. So we need to figure out the lights. but the lights on the Enermax blocks are working, so I think there's something that got unplugged, so I'm going to do some looking around, see if I can find that. With the PC all ready to go and the RAID array creating inside of Windows, the next goal that we're going to be doing is the last part, which is the dual DIN stereos. So we're essentially going to take 2 of these stereos, and we're going to wire them to Molex. You see this grotesque demonic creature? This here actually is a double single DIN to Molex adapter. If you look, there's the 3 ends that it's tied off, and we have 1 ground looping because we don't use it. And so this is going to plug in into our 2 head units and allow us to connect it in. So upon doing some research, I figured out that Molex wouldn't be enough to power these. So I actually ended up using a SATA connector. You remember that mining riser that we got that we threw out the connector for? Well, it just came in handy. And it allowed us to get both of these guys working. So now we're going to get them mounted to the special adapter we showed.
Wanted to give an update on this PC. I know that these videos are like really weird because I'm spacing them out, but I've been using this thing for probably about a month after building it. And so I figured I would just kind of give you all an update on what I've done to it, how I've been using it. Obviously the 5700 XT is going to cause a couple issues, and it has, but it's nothing that has been too horrible. Everything has stood up so far, and PC is working great. I don't have the server side on right now, but the server rips, and server is what I'm going to be using to render this video. I got a little support there that I made out of bread ties holding the dang graphics card. Kind of sucks because it ruined all that effort I just put into making it look nice in there, and I got the fan there, but it does the job, and it looks good doing it. I know this is a very iffy kind of video. Kind of wished I would have took more time to get the camera in there while I was building. That's kind of the hard part about it, is you get so into this that you just don't really think about the camera. But I wanted to at least show you the end result. A lot of people were wanting to see this and how it got to be.